What's going on, y'all? This is Beer Hoops here, and today is day number 5 of NBA recaps, day number 5 of the NBA season, 25th of October, 2025. Hey, man, let's get right into these games because I have a lot to say. I like that it was a nice little 5-game night. I didn't have to sit there and try to keep track of 12 games. Made it a lot easier to gather my thoughts. I feel like the last video was a little bit all over the place, but this one is a lot more organized. I actually took some notes. So, yeah, but we're gonna start with the Indiana versus Memphis. Indiana versus Memphis was a interesting game. Honestly, I feel like the Grizzlies kind of needed a bounce back game like this. And the Pacers, the Pacers, it honestly, it's sad to say, but it kind of looks like it's only going to get worse from here for the Pacers. You hope that they can get healthy. It's amazing to see Benedict Mathurin still, continue his scoring from the first game, but he did go down with that injury. I think it was in the third quarter. And his scoring is going to be essential for the Pacers if they want to be competitive at all this season. So hopefully he's not going to be out too long. And, injuries in general are kind of the story for Indiana right now. You have TJ out, you have Andrew Nembhard out, you have Benedict Mathurin out, and obviously you have Tyrese Halliburton out. So, it's getting kind of rough for them. But hopefully they can, steady the ship and make something happen before this season at least. Hopefully they can get relatively healthy within a reasonable amount of time. But I'm just really waiting to see what's going to happen with Benedict Mathurin because they have really, really taken advantage of his scoring, and it was really big for them in these first 2 games. So. And Pascal Siakam was rough today. 6 points, only 12 shots, or not 6 points. 13 points, only 12 shots. Just especially after you see Benedict Mathurin go down, you gotta. I mean, I guess they were down most of the game. It didn't really matter that much. He probably didn't really play much in the fourth, but I don't know. They just need more scoring. They need more scoring. They need more point guard play really bad. They need their point guards back really, really bad. Jarris Walker. I was about to say Jabari Walker. Jarris Walker 2 for 13 is rough. I really like Jarris Walker as a player, and I think he'll figure it out this season. I think he was solid in the first game too. I think 8 threes is a little bit high for Jarris Walker. That's probably why he wasn't too great. He was probably he was settling a little bit. I feel like as Jarris Walker, bro, he's like 6'9". He's super athletic. He's lengthy, bro. He should be at the rim all game long. I don't know. Not much more for me to say about the Pacers. They really need their point guard play back, and Siakam has to be very reliable for them to be competitive, and to really stay in games at all this year, in my opinion. So, he needs to lock in a little bit. But on the Grizzlies side, it's amazing to see Cedric Coward play that well this early in the season. I mean, 9 of 13, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 for 6 from 3. I mean, a lot of people loved Cedric Coward going into the draft, and I didn't really know that much about him, to be completely honest with you, but I mean, he looks like a steal, so Grizzlies got to be happy with that. Ja Morant struggled a little bit today. He struggled last game too. He was a little bit better today though. He only played 27 minutes. They definitely let the bench get a lot of play time, especially in the fourth quarter. So I wouldn't be too concerned about Ja, and I'm really not worried about him, to be honest. I think the big question with Ja is it something to worry about? Is he going to be more closer to that first game where he was incredible in that comeback, or is he going to, be like how he was last season, not as aggressive? Not taking as many shots, not as efficient. So we'll see though. It's only the third game, so Yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about for the Grizzlies was just KCP is bad, man. I don't really understand how he forgot how to shoot a basketball. It's like he left the Nuggets and like just completely forgot how to shoot. I mean, the Nuggets, I guess he was just so used to those Jokic passes. I don't know, man. I guess you just gotta hope he'll figure it out at some point because you definitely could use his shooting for this team. You have a lot of decent shooters, but you always, I mean, your starting shooting guard not being able to hit threes is gonna make things rough, especially when you had Desmond Bain for the last 4 years. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this game. It was a blowout, so it's like not much really to talk about. I think other games I'm probably gonna go a little more in depth on, and I don't want to drag this video out longer than it has to be. So I don't know why I went to that day. Yeah, I don't want to drag this video out because the last video was way too long and there wasn't that much to talk about. No, the next thing I want to do with the Bulls, I'm gonna do Bulls versus Magic next because that was one of the games I was a little bit more interested in. Um, Bulls starting off the season 2-0. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if fans of the Bulls actually want to see that, but it happened. So, um, yeah, the craziest thing about this game was Modest was horrible. He only played 12 minutes and fouled out in 12 minutes. That's crazy. Um, you gotta hope that Modest is gonna be very consistent this season and gonna show that potential that people think he has because he's one of the only real things of value that Bulls fans can really like root for. Um, yeah, you really want him to be able to you want him to be able to stay on the floor. Six personal fouls in 12 minutes is insane. Um, but I mean, besides that, overall, it was a really good game for the Bulls. You had like seven double digit scorers is very impressive, especially when you understand that Modest fouled out in 12 minutes, so he wasn't one of those 10-point scorers or double digit scorers. And getting that kind of production from Trey Jones, even Patrick Williams getting 12 points is about as good as you're ever going to get from Patrick Williams. Aya Dosunmu getting 15 is, I mean, great. And Jalen Smith, I always like Jalen Smith. I hope he finds a place that he can figure it out. I don't think Chicago was the place, but I hope he does. I also wanted to talk about Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, it looks a little iffy. 7 for 18 is rough, but I really appreciate how aggressive he's being, and he's not afraid to like take shots that he normally wouldn't. He would pass up. The last like pretty much his whole career, he would pass up like really easy, like no brainer shots. He was kind of afraid to be aggressive, afraid to go to the rim, and I don't mind him taking 18 shots and being inefficient. I feel like he needs to improve his game, and that's how you do it. You gotta take risks, you gotta be aggressive, and I appreciate that from him. So no really big complaints besides Modest following out in 12 minutes, but now the Magic, I have a lot to say about the Magic. They don't look that great. They looked pretty well. Obviously today they were really rough, but they got to figure their stuff out because this is gonna get ugly fast if they don't understand the kind of game they need to be playing. I wanted to start off with Paulo continues to struggle a lot. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know why Paulo struggles so much with efficiency. I know he's a tough shot taker, but at that size, you gotta get closer to the rim, get some easier shots because you should never be 7 for 21 as with his kind of like, bro. He's built like a freaking tank. He should never be that bad. Um, 3 for 24 from three. You're pretty much never gonna win a game in 2025 shooting like that. Desmond Bain should be shooting minimum 6 to 8 threes per game. The fact that Desmond Bain only got 2 shots or 2 3-pointers up is insane to me. You want to hope that Tristan Da Silva is going to make up for, or is going to go back to what he was doing in the regular season not the regular season, the first 2 games. But yeah, Desmond Bain only taking 2 3-pointers is outrageous. He should be minimum like 6 to 8 3-pointers minimum. And some days he should be taking 10 to 12 because they need that 3-point volume. They need 3-pointers. And he's the only real player on this team that's going to provide them. So he's the only starter that's going to provide a consistent 3-point threat at all. He needs to put up at least 6 to 8 threes a game minimum. That's like the main thing that I wanted to talk about with them. There's no reason they should Desmond should shoot 2 3-pointers, and 24 3-pointers even attempted is insane in 2025. That's low. And if you're gonna shoot that low, you need to be shooting them at a decent percentage because you're not gonna win playing like that. And I wanted to talk about Anthony Black. It's cool to see him have a good game. It feels like a lot of people are really out on Anthony Black, and I can understand why. He's kind of just like, he was drafted to be like this big point guard, and as the years have gone on, he's pretty much became more of a 3-and-D wing that can't really shoot that well. He's a really good defender, though. But, he has the size to be a wing, like a shooting guard or a small forward. He definitely has the size, and I think he could have like a long career in the league playing like that. He's just really got to figure out 3-ball out, but I like seeing him, having a decent game. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 assist. It's a really good game for Anthony Black. Definitely the best one so far this season, so can't really complain there. But the Bulls are definitely a team that the Magic should beat, and a lot of people had very high expectations for the Magic, and so far they look rough. So hopefully they can figure it out, because if they can't figure it out, bro, the East is very, very weak. Very, very weak. Hornets, 76ers. This game was interesting, specifically for the 76ers side, because I'm tripping. Okay. Yeah, the biggest story on the Charlotte Hornets side was Brandon Miller got hurt. You really need to hope that he's not going to be out for a long period of time from that injury. You got to be able to stay on the floor. You know what I mean? It's been really rough for the Charlotte fans. Dealing with LaMelo, barely playing any games every season. Brandon Miller gets drafted. He's really good in his rookie year, and he just can't stay on the floor. It would really suck if these guys just never can figure out like how to play well together because they don't, because they just can't stay on the floor. That would be really sad. So I really hope they can figure it out. I liked some things that I like a lot of things about this Charlotte Hornets team, to be honest. I really like what I'm seeing from them. But it's just like, I just really want Brandon Miller to be able to stay on the floor. I want same with LaMelo. I love watching LaMelo play. He's like, this is like the most LaMelo ball game you ever seen. His 3-point volume is always going to be high, and he's gonna make a decent amount too. So 27, 10, and 8 from LaMelo. I mean, you can't really ask for more from him. So he's never going to be the most efficient player. The shots he takes, he's never going to be super efficient. So I don't mind 8 for 18. That's solid enough. But I wanted to talk about Ryan Kalkbrenner and Concaniple. I really like them. They bring a level of consistency and like maturity as rookies that I feel like the Hornets need. They kind of, obviously they've went through so many players in the last 5-6 years, and it felt like a lot of the time they were drafting people who don't really have any level of like, they don't have any level of maturity at all, and it's like a whole group of people a whole team of people that are just not really like ready for the moment, ready to play in the league. And I think Concaniple and Ryan Kalkbrenner are like genuinely, I think they're perfect picks for this team. I know a lot of people really like I really like those picks, but I think they're showing like on the court that they really are like going to impact this team in a positive way. So, yeah, that's mostly all I wanted to talk about with the Hornets. You know, they lost, but it's really not that big of a deal. This is actually a decent game for them. You just want to hope Brandon Miller is going to be back as soon as possible. So, but yeah, with the 76ers, this was a good game for the 76ers. I really not much to complain about here. I mean, you have a little bit of inefficiency from Maxey and VJ, but, you know, they got the job done. Maxey had almost a triple-double. So, I'm never going to fault Tyrese Maxey for efficiency because he knows that he needs to be as aggressive as possible. He needs to take a lot of shots for them to even have a chance to win. And I appreciate somebody who's not scared to take bad shots when it's necessary. So, yeah, I love Tyrese Maxey. He's so fun to watch. Kelly Oubre, really good night for Kelly Oubre, too. 19 points on 10 shots that's about as good as it gets for a role player. And then obviously Embiid was amazing, you know, for 20 minutes. I mean, 20 points in 20 minutes, super efficient. Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to see him be able to move better on the court, but this is a step in the right direction, and any sort of positive signs for Joel Embiid is always a good thing. So, yeah, and then, you know, VJ was solid too. I actually wanted to read out this quote. So, yeah, in the post game, Embiid had a quote about the minutes restriction. He said, "The longer I sit, the shorter stints. You play 2 to 3 minutes and you got to get out. That's literally nothing. I might as well just stay home and be with my family. Longer stints, you're able to let the game come to you." I agree with him 100%. I feel like I 100% get what he's saying, and I agree that, you know, it's a lot easier for players to get in rhythm when they're able to be on the court for a longer period of time. But at the end of the day, for Embiid, it's like you can't really complain because, for one, your team is actually solid this year without you. They don't even have Paul George back yet. Honestly, I completely forgot that Paul George was still in the NBA. That just like blew my mind right now. But if you can continue like to ramp up a little bit every single game, you're gonna get back to them playing 30 minutes and, you know, playing longer stints. I feel like he's got to be patient. You know what I mean? But I get where he's coming from completely. So I can't really fault him. You know, it's his team, and he wants to be able to be on the court for his team. I can't really fault him for that at all. And yeah, I also want to talk about Quentin Grimes. You know, Quentin Grimes was very good. 24 points, 5 for 8 from the 3, 7-14 from the field. It's a great game for Quentin Grimes. You hope that he can be this consistent, or not be this consistent, but play at this level consistently throughout the season. You know, he doesn't need to average 24, but he needs to hopefully, you know, average a nice little 15 to 18, you know, shoot some threes. I think they'll be a lot better if Quentin Grimes can figure it out and be consistent on this roster. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that game. Solid game. It was close. So, this is probably one of the games I watched the least, though. I will be honest. I didn't really get to tune into this one that much. I was at work, and at my job, I can watch most of the games pretty closely, but these were all kind of going on at around the same time, so I had to switch back and forth from some games, and when it got close, you know, so, but I still think, I think both those teams are a lot more interesting than a lot of other teams. So, like this game, not a very interesting game. Suns versus Nuggets might have been the most boring game of the night. I don't know, man. I always loved watching Devin Booker play, but I don't know if I can watch the Suns team. It's just like, it's kind of brutal. It really is. I mean, I feel like the only way this Suns team is going to be manageable to watch is if Devin Booker, you didn't turn the game on to start, and you looked at the box score, and you seen Devin Booker has 20 points in the first half and you want to see how many he can get or something. Or he has 25 with 6 minutes left in the second quarter and you want to see how many points he's going to score. Because Devin Booker is genuinely the only, like, very, like, entertaining thing on this roster. I mean, you're obviously missing Jalen Green a bunch, and I don't know, man. I'm actually like, I can't believe that Dillon Brooks is taking this many shots. I know they don't have like a bunch of people who can shoot, who can even like create their own shot at all. But Dillon Brooks he's not the guy that should be doing that, man. I don't really care. Like bro, get Colin Gillespie in here and like let him shoot or something, or like Grayson Allen shoot more. Devin Booker, bro, shoot 20 shots minimum. He should be averaging 20 shot attempts per game. Easily. There's nobody else on this team who should be shooting. There's no Jalen Green. He should be, like, without Jalen Green specifically, Devin Booker should average 20 shots a game. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, bro. He should be averaging at least 20 shots per game. 13 threes for Dillon Brooks is just wild. So wild. I also wanted to talk about, I really wish Malawach would get more play time. And really all the young guys. I wish they would all get a little more play time. It doesn't make sense to me that, like, for a Phoenix team that has absolutely zero expectations, why are you playing all the vets so much? Just get the young guys in and make, let them develop. It doesn't make any sense. Rasheed Fleming, Malawach. Obviously Ryan Dunn is a starter, but he should play more than 23 minutes. I guess it was a blow, but still, they should all play up to 30 minutes per game, in my opinion. You're developed. This is like a development season for the Phoenix Suns. There's no expectations. People don't expect you to win or anything even close to that. They don't even expect you to be like really competitive. So there's no big reason why you should not play the young guys. Especially Malawach. He really needs reps to get that NBA feel, and he should play way more than 13 minutes, like guaranteed. Just still Devin Booker, shoot the ball more, and that'll make the game fun. Everybody will want to watch him shoot like 25 times. I would. I love watching Devin Booker. He's so smooth. But onto the Nuggets. Pretty balanced scoring game for them, Another team with 7 double-digit scorers like the Bulls. Nuggets had 7 double-digit scorers, which is, that's really cool. It's good to see Cam Johnson figure it out a little bit. You still want him to get that 3-ball more consistent, but he got 15 points. He fits right in their system. He just looks like he's been there for years. He looks very comfortable there. So, I didn't really have that much to say about this game. Again, probably my most boring game. I really don't like to watch the Suns this season. And, the Nuggets, Jokic is not going to be ramping up for a minute. He had a very good game today. 14, and 15 is beautiful. But usually to start a season, Jokic is kind of just like coasting, trying to get his body back in shape. And it's going to be that way for a while. So I'll be ready to watch more Jokic when it comes to like December. But yeah, he was really good tonight though. Just not very aggressive scoring wise, but he didn't really need to be anyway. I also wanted to talk about for them, Aaron Gordon had the craziest dunk I ever seen in my life. Like that was crazy. That 360 alley-oop, that was wild. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about with the Nuggets though. They don't really have that much going on. They're going to be a good team. There's not really much more to say than that. That's pretty much it. And then the last game, I think, OKC versus Atlanta. Go back. OKC versus Atlanta. I actually had more to say about this than I thought. Mainly because I assumed that the Hawks would compete a little more, but I did give them a little bit of leeway. Mainly because they had a lot of injuries. They had Kristaps out. They had Jalen Johnson out. They had Zachary Richardson out. So, definitely a lot of... Pretty much all your wing depth is gone at that point. You're playing people like Justin Toppin. You have to play rookie Asa Newell 25 minutes. He was solid though. He was actually really good in his 25 minutes, 12 points and 3 threes. That's really good. You had to play Vic Krejci 22 minutes. That's never a good sign. You're pretty much always going to lose that game. But yeah, it's just the inefficiency from Trae Young. He's always going to be relatively inefficient, but it's just like, I don't know, man. Something about Trae Young just bothers me when I watch him. I feel like they just need to put the ball in his hands more. I understand trying to get him to be like develop to be more of an off-ball player, but that's just not who he is. Let him rock out, bro. Yeah, let him rock out. It's always also amazing to see Nickeil Alexander-Walker bounce back a little bit. Take the ball out of his hands. This is what's going to happen. He's an elite role player. He's not a player that you should be having running any sort of offense. But yeah, 10 shots. That's perfect for him. Should not be shooting 18 shots. Should not be shooting 20 shots. That's crazy to me. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels. Rough, man. Just looks really rough this season. Got that contract extension. He really needs to lock in, man. They gave him that money. Basing on he had offensively he improved last season and won most improved player. They were hoping to see that there was going to be more improvement, and I think there could be for Dyson Daniels, but he's got to lock in. He's really got to lock in. I don't even think he's that. I mean, I don't even know if he's been that good defensively. That's what he lives and dies on. He should be better. But yeah, that's all I really had to say about the Hawks. I think they're going to pick it up a little bit once they get all their players back. Once they get Reece Shea and Jalen Johnson back, and Kristaps, he's gonna miss games. It is what it is. You can't really rely on him too much, and they have a solid center core, so they should be good. But the OKC strong bounce back for Chet. You love to see a game like this from Chet. 31 points, 8 for 12, 6 for 8 from 3. Love seeing that he shoot 10 free throws, and Shea only shot 4. I didn't even realize he didn't shoot that many. He was very efficient, though. And 12 for 17 is great. 2 for 6 from 3 is, it's not too bad, 33%. But yeah, I mean, he was an all-around beast. You pretty much, you got a good enough game from everybody. I mean, where's my boy AJ Mitchell? Hey, bro, AJ Mitchell probably my favorite player on this whole team. 14, 7, and 7 off the bench. Beautiful. He's really helping. He comes off the bench, he stuffs the stat sheet, and he's really helping soften the impact of not having J-Dub on the team to start the season. So yeah, I really like what AJ Mitchell has provided for them. And I feel like they always just have everybody, bro. They have every single person on their team is it's just good. They don't have a single bad player on their whole roster. But yeah, Lou Dort also needs to start hitting his threes. That's one thing that I didn't have in my notes. Lou Dort needs to get back to hitting his threes, because if he's not hitting threes, it makes their offense a lot worse. He doesn't need to hit a bunch, but he needs to be more consistent than he has been to start this season. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. You just got to hope that Chet is going to be more closer to this version of Chet than the one we saw against Indiana. So, but yeah, I mean, that's the end of the video. Didn't want to drag this one out too much. 28 minutes isn't too bad. It's a lot of I think I was a little bit more on topic with this one. So, but yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know what game was your favorite. Let me know what performance was your favorite. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.